I'm Carol. This is my buddy, little Squirt. He comes everywhere I go. He's my buddy. Right, Squirt? He talks like the Dickens. But he hasn't yet talked to you. So I don't know what it is, Squirt. He's waiting for a union card, I think. Then he's going to talk to you. All right, let's throw in a sky. We do that first. That's the first thing we do. Never fail. You know whatever's on here is what I'm using. Actually, this is this is lavender on the blue side. And it's made with alizarin and phthalo blue. And I'm just going to throw it in there. And in the corners, I always like my corners a little darker. So we'll throw a little darker in the corners. A little darker in the corners. A little darker, a little darker, a little darker. And let me get a clean little brush and we'll put a little bit of glow. I love that. Oh, glow. A little glow on the horizon. This is bright red and ochre mixed together and to make a nice kind of soft peachy color. And because it's red and ochre together, now I can mix it with the blue. Nothing bad will happen. If you just put just plain ochre or yellow up there for your horizon, you mix it with the blue, you're going to have green. Sure as shooting. But that works. That works. Let's see, I come that far, might as well mix up the rest of the sky. I go for the little white places first. Give it a little, I don't know, the dark corners last. It's my sky, Squirt. You're going to have a lot of fun making skies. But I'm rushing through this sky because I have plans. I don't want to tell you yet. I'm going to spoil the surprise. All right, I'll tell you. It's going to be another seascape because that's what we're into. We're really studying seascapes. So I'll get the sky done really fast. What I want to do is I'm going to take my blender brush and get rid of those last little brush strokes that are bothering me. And this is the quick way to do it. Just soft, 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 soft. Gets rid of those last little, in case they bother. If they don't bother you, you got it, all set. You don't have to worry about them. But, okay, that's good enough. Now we've been doing real quick skies so that we can jump right down and get into the water. So I promise you that in the near future we will start paying more attention to the skies and maybe, all those wonderful clouds you'd like to know how to make. Okay, we will do that. Okay, that's a promise. Because every time I make these promises, boy, I get stuck. I have to keep them. Right, Squirt? My horizon line. I want it to be straight. But this big 2-inch brush is just great for that. You start at one end, take one long sweep, and then call it done. And keep it, unless it's really got problems. I'm not worried about that corner. I best get myself a little blue, and wow, look at that blue. That's phthalo blue and phthalo green mixed together. Makes a very watery looking blue. Well, the kind you would see in Bermuda. Don't we wish we were there? Yes. Yes, speaking of sunny places that we wish we were. We're here in New England, and it's not always so sunny. But we do have the greatest seascapes, beaches, all those beautiful things. So that's what got us on the seascape thing. All right, everybody in New England wants to know how to paint the seascape, and that's what started this. That's lavender with a little bit of the phthalo blue, phthalo green, just to spice it up. In fact, I might do a little more spicing back here. And it's streaky. I like streaky. I have plans for those streaks. Gonna be part of my waves, actually. I make them work for me, just in case my wave happens to want to be there. Okay, even it out and just get away from there before Lord knows what we're gonna do. I can see, in this picture, I can see a little faraway island. I had plans for that. I'm going to use my filbert brush. Probably, the lavender that I used in the water, but I've got some titanium white in it now, and it's light. I want it to be light. It's far away. But I also want to be able to see it against the sky. So if you think you can't see it against the sky, you just go back and make it a little, whoop, doop, 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 whoop, there it is, a little piece of headland out there. When I come in with my fill bit, I'm really just forming the top edge of that headland. You know, however you want it to be. And you don't need any more paint than that. I'll drag this paint down a little bit, but that's all there is to that. We don't need a lot of paint back there. It'll only get in our way. And this is a 1-inch brush. It's sort of clean. It's as clean as my brushes ever get at any given time. I try not to have to wash my brushes until I'm done with the picture. Part of it's because I really never like to work too hard. And the other part of it's, you know, you clean your brushes out in this odorless thinner. And you really got to have a dry brush before you bring it back up to the canvas again. And that takes a whole lot of banging and shaking and wiping and all kinds of extra heavy work. So I try not to wash them until I'm done. That's my little hint. That's the easiest thing to do, is to put far away little headlands in. It honestly is. It's just, you just throw it in there and it's done. Alright, let's do a little bit of wave action. There's other things going to happen in this picture. But we'll save that to the last minute. Right, Squirt? Squirt hasn't talked to me all day, so I don't want you to feel bad that he's not talking to you. I'm going to go back into my lavender. Oh, a little bit of blue. And there might be... These are the waves. Ooh, these are the waves. There's these little faraway waves, you see. I'm going to blend them out, don't you worry one speck. But there might even be some little guys back there. Little guys. You've seen me before. Sometimes I put these in with a knife. You've seen that. But you can also take a little fill bit. Oh, there's a big one. And, you know, every wave has a shadow under its crest. So what this is a wave with a shadow under its crest. And we're going to blend these out. And now they should all start to look like nice faraway waves. If we're lucky, right, Squirt? Good old blender brush. So now I really do have streaks. I like that. I like that. Those are my little waves. I'm flattening them out. Water's always flat. Okay. Now, we're going to have one major wave. It's not too big though. It's not too big. It's probably going to be somewhere here. Just got to do it. Yeah. So that's my top edge. Needs to be dark. Needs to be dark. Needs to be dark. Oh, that's dark now. That's that little hint of phthalo green with the phthalo blue. Boy, is that an outstanding little color combination. Now under every wave, let's keep it small. Let's not go crazy. But under the wave, there's always a shadow too. We'll call it the gully. The gully. And then I don't know what's happening down here. There might be, I don't know, other things. Whatever. Okay, so we can soften that out too. Little bunny brush. Poor bunny brush, taking a beating today. Usually doesn't want to push this much paint around. But we'll soften that out. That's right. If your bunny brush gets too full of paint, you just retire it and you pick up another bunny brush for the rest of the picture. And this one is pretty well ready to be retired. This little 1-inch will do the job now. Because what I want to do is work on the angle of the wave. So under the wave, we'll grab it at the top, and the wave would have a little curl, and then it would like flatten out. So let's grab that color, a little curl, and flatten out. Little curl, little curl, little curl, little curl. Get that angle established. But the flatten out part is really very important. Otherwise your wave will look like it's 25 feet tall. And I like to soften out the edges of the picture. Keep our eye where we want it to be. And good, we'll keep that. Now the next thing on that wave we want to go for is the little eye of the wave, the little light spot, and it's going to be somewhere in there, I'd say. We could take some of that dark stuff. Take some of that dark paint off. Give us a place to put a little white spot. And I would do that with my filbert too. It's not too dirty. Oh, you little dickens, you're dirty. Okay, well there's other ways. Probably this little flat brush. Now, what do I want to put in that wave? You know, that peachy color was awful nice. Let's try for that. It's bright red, ochre, titanium white, and it makes a little peach. Let's get some little more white in there. And it makes a nice little peach. Okay, there's that light spot. And just blending it in. You might get a little more white in there. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, usually at this point I would take a little blender brush. This one's dirty too. Boy, we gotta... I guess it's almost time to wash brushes. What do you say, Squirt? I'm taking the blender. I'm just gonna just 3 hairs and a little air, and stir that up until it gets nice and soft. Remember the angle. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? That's a nice little glow in that wave. The wave's gonna, that's the eye of the wave. The wave's gonna have a dump. Before I can bring that dump over, where's that handy dandy filbert? Before I bring that dump over, I really like to have a shadow under it. Let me just put a shadow back in there. Okay, so it's just something to get my foam to dump over on. There you go. A fan brush. A fan brush will do this just fine. A fan brush, some titanium white. Let's try that. Although you might put a little speck of bright red in it, or that peach, you know. Just carry the color down from the sky is kind of nice. Oh, yes. Well, that's working. Okay, and I do like that peachy color. I think I'll go for some more of that. Just grab and make a little dump of color on the top of there. Remember, this is a small wave. This is not, we keep it little, keep it little. Oh, somebody stop me. Okay. Okay, now, a little foam action. Gee, I bet you this little fan brush will do that just fine. I'll wipe it off with a little thinner. We use odorless thinner. I'll wipe it off and clean it a little bit. Now I usually put a shadow under my foam work, but I've got this shadow right here looking pretty good. Now I'll reinforce it. I don't want to get stuck without a shadow. So wherever it comes, there should be a shadow under the foam. Gotta have a little paint. Nothing happens if you don't have any paint on there. Okay, that's probably better. Gotta have some dark in there or you'll never see any light. And I'll clean that up a little bit. I don't know what's out. I think it's just gonna dump over there. Now, the fan brush, titanium white, liquid white, a little bit of that peach color even. Okay, let's go for the little corner of the fan brush, little push-ups. Get a little bit of foam action going, because it's a little wave, so we gotta be neat now. Little neat ones. Oh, it's more fun when they're big ones, huh? Little neat ones. I think I'm going to go for some titanium white without the peach in it now. Or just a few more. Little sparklers. because it's picking up that shadow. It's picking up a lot of that shadow, but that's okay. We'll just come back and keep getting clean paint. Doo-doo. Now, a knife. We can put the rest of that in with a knife. If I get a knife and get a little roll of paint, it's got a little peach in it. Top edge of that wave. Just push down a little, put it on. That's the wave kind of, if we decide it is, it's the wave kind of rolling forward on itself. And we could do that over here too. Right, Squirt? You know, I have never been so ignored as I've been in the last few days that Squirt's not talking to me. But I know that won't last. I know that won't last. We could do a little of this back here too. Squirt, you want your peanut now? You been good? You waiting for your peanut? You been good? You waiting for it? Okay, here, I got it. Here. See? This is why we're friends, right? Free groceries. Free groceries will make a friend out of anybody. In fact, everybody says I have so many animals and critters around this place. That's why it's called Totem Farm. But they're all just roaming around loose. I just feed them all. Everybody says, hey, how come these things all stay here and never go away? Well, I know why. The key is free groceries. There's too many handouts around here. Everybody stays. In fact, it's the only way I got my kids to leave home when they grow up. I just had to stop feeding them. Otherwise, they would have never left. If I take my little knife and a little titanium white, I could just give the hint of some wave action here. But remember the angle. Up with the wave and then it levels out. And it goes up with the wave, and then it levels out. Little roll of paint, and it goes up with the wave, levels out, up with the wave. See, I used to put all these little lines on with my little liner brush until I found out how easy it was to do it with a knife and then brush them out after, and then they all look just pokey after. I'll switch to my big knife. I can cover more territory faster. And they do level out here, so you got to come down and kind of get them on a flat. We don't know how much of this is going to show. I have plans, but a little might show there. So we flattened it out, and now it's time for this blender brush to do its magic. Remember the angle, and get ready to wipe the brush. So, angle, 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 and you gotta flatten it out. If you don't come down and flatten it out, it'll be the steepest wave you ever saw. It'll be a 25-foot wave. Okay, and we give that a little lick. All right, I'm pretty happy with that for now. Now here comes the secret. Ooh, and I got time to do it too. Let's see. I'm gonna go for a bigger fan. My large fan. I've got a pile of dark stuff mixed up. I call it dark stuff because I put everything in it I got on the palette that's dark. It's really phthalo green, phthalo blue. It's alizarin. There's Van Dyke brown in there. I think I even threw some sap green in there. I threw all my leftover lavender in there. I mean, and I've got loads of it, I'll tell you. And I've got a big fan brush, and I've got tons of paint on that fan brush. Because I'm going to throw in some pine trees. Right? And pine trees take a lot of paint. We're thinking that this is, the other land's here, and you're looking through the pine trees, and you're just seeing a little bit of the ocean. And here we go. These are my uppies. You get a lot of paint. You come in with the corner of the fan brush and just kind of push up with the corner of the fan brush. And then you form the tree however you think it should be. I try not to make these trees too perfect because, there's so much variation in nature. But perfect, they're more pleasing when they're not perfect. There's that little guy. There he is. And there's more. There's more. Might be another one right there. This is your bravery test on this picture. Although it's not only a bravery test, but just in case you didn't like anything that happened in your water, this is your chance. You know, you put your tree where things didn't go right. Now, that's a secret. Don't tell everybody that. Okay. Maybe just a little guy right here. Oh, these trees just jump up there. They just jump onto the canvas all by themselves. And there might be a little here. Ooh, lots of paint now. Certainly got lots of paint. And we're coming down. We're headed down there. I really want a dock in here as soon as I figure out how to get a dock in there. Probably switch to a bigger brush. And just throw some color in there. Dock. Oh, gee, you can use anything you got left. Okay, now we're going to travel to the other side. Alright, so land over here too. I'm just pushing up with a fan brush. Gives me kind of a fuzzy little edge, and then I tell myself, well, that's grass. Okay? If it works for you. You can be even faster though by banging in with this 1 inch, some color on it. You could get a hill going in there much faster. And I can see a hill coming right down here, and you know I'm going to put some pine trees on it. Sure, lots of paint now. Look out, Squirt. Paint's flying high. Okay, and we'll put a little tree there. Let's see. Fan brush, maybe just maybe. Oh, I don't want to lose those pretty things altogether. Let's make. All right, we'll make one up here. Oh, I'm on Squirt's side of the canvas now. This is when he usually picks on me. Look at him falling asleep. You poor baby. Poor baby's falling asleep. And then if we got one there must be another one. Boy, I got paint on this brush. Okay. So I've got the directions and the materials list of this picture all written out. I'm going to mail them to you. This is picture number 13. You have to remember that so that I'll know what to send you. You just write to me and I will send you the list for picture number 13. Well, they look good. We could highlight them. We could highlight those trees a little bit. I've just got the tree mixture and I put a little white in it. I put a little liquid white and a little titanium white in it. And I'm going to call that my highlight color. And just come up to one side of the tree. Probably the left side over here. And just put a little highlight. A little. The first thing we overdo is too much of this, I'll tell you. You and me both. So I always tell myself, I'm up here doing this, less is more, every hit, say less is more, Don't want to, just a couple, just, little bits of that. We'll call them done. You know what I really want in this picture? Let me do it before we forget. I've got my liner brush, little birds. We have to have some little birds in this picture. You can just get thinner and thin down some dark stuff. It doesn't matter what it is. Don't use black. Use whatever's on your palette that looks good and dark. I very rarely use black. And then maybe my birds are just little M's. And I would come down. I stop and think about it and go back up again. That kind of gives them an automatic little body. And doo-doo. Let's see, there's 3. If we're going to do any more, let's keep it odd, but alright, we're on a roll. Where else could we put one? We'll do a bigger one. Oh, here's a big guy. And that's 4, so I guess we got to do 5. We could give him a little wing, give this guy a little more of a wing. And we could just do, where should we put it? I don't know. When your decisions are wide open, they're hard to make. Okay, this is good. As long as I got that liner brush going, we could do some little twiggy things. You know, those little twiggy things that we like to do. There could be, there's a good place for one. Oh, gotta have paint on the brush, nothing happens. And I like to do little twiggy things, especially when you have a spot where there's a light canvas. If you put a little twiggy in front of a light spot, shows up, looks great. People think you suffered for days and days putting them in. To tell you the truth, you could just snip them up there like that and they'll be just fine. Just whip them in there. Could be some over here. Oh, could be some little things sticking up there. You never know. Could be, you know, those little dead things in the woods. Gee, we're looking good. What do you think, Squirt? Huh? Well, I think that's one of the quickest little dandy ones we've ever put together. I like it. Do you like it, Squirt? Do you think we should keep it? The last minute, if I look at my seascape, now it's time, if you choose to, you could come in with some pure titanium white and punch up your splashes. I told you that before. Punch up your splashes. But wait till the last minute to use white, because white's your ace in the hole. And so you want to wait. And then I'll come back in and use it where I see I might want to use it. So there. Your ace in the hole. Well, that's a happy little picture. Okay, now this is your seascape. I know you're getting good because you've been painting, you've been doing this for weeks now. The more you do a seascape, the better you're gonna get. No doubt about it. As long as you get this little dynamic of the wave done, the rest is really easy. Nothing to it. So we'll be back. We're going to do some more seascapes. We're going to do some more. We're going to do a few different kinds. So you come back next time and be ready. Make sure you write to me. Painting number 13. This is a nice one. You're going to like this one. It's not too hard to do either. Okay, so write to me. I'll send you the directions. So I'll see you. Bye-bye for now.